Robert Burns was born on the 25th of January 1759. An Ayrshire man, a son of the soil. He was born in a house that was built by his father William, although William's name was Burnes, B-U-R-N-E-S, and at some point Burns dropped the E, Burnes being a pretty common name. He died in Dumfries in 1796 after a serious chest illness, at which for pneumonia was prescribed a dip into the Solway Firth. It's amazing how medicine has come on. He was a great romantic, a bit of a rogue, as his many illegitimate children attest to, but a man who sort of lived with his heart and worked with his heart, a man of the common touch. He was born into a turbulent time in Scotland. 1759 was 13 years after the crushing of the Jacobite rebellion, when 1745 Bonnie Prince Charlie, the proper king of Great Britain, raised his standard at Glenfinnan. His army marched all the way to Derby and could have gone to London, but for some reason they turned back, all the way back to Inverness, and in April 1746 the Jacobite army was crushed by the weight of the Hanoverian government troops. Many people think that it was a Scots versus English thing, but it wasn't. It was a government, many of whose soldiers comprised Lowland Scots, against the Highlands. You see, the Stuarts were a Catholic dynasty, and they were Catholic kings, and the desire above all was to re-establish a Catholic monarchy in the UK. Most of the Highland clans were Catholic, whereas the Lowlands and England had embraced Protestantism by that time. Hence the reason why James II was kicked out and the Hanoverians brought over from Germany. And it was into that kind of time and against that background that Robert Burns lived and wrote and ultimately died. He never made anything out of his poetry all the time that he lived, although he did meet with some very prominent people and some society people. But he was a man born into poverty, who lived most of his life in poverty, and who died in poverty. And Isabel, we're actually, the first song that Isabel is going to sing is not actually a Burns song.
They would never have known that.
Yes, they would. Well, Robert Burns once wrote that an honest man's the noblest work of God, so I don't think we'll get away with it. But she'll tell you the story of this while I try and get this squeeze box into some kind of tune.
The chap who actually wrote this song was somebody who knows quite a lot about Burns, and he wrote it about two soldiers going home from battle. They were very weary, perhaps one of them wounded, and probably had walked a long, long way going home, and it's really just a story about going home.
Okay. Henry, get this. Sorry, wrong song.
Beauty is within grasp, hear the islands call, the last mile is upon us, I'll carry you if you fall. I know the armor's heavy now, I know the heart is tired, it's beauty.